So let's talk also about comprehension supports. Children with autism in conversation have a lot of trouble with figurative language because figurative language doesn't exactly translate into what it means. So again, we're going to talk about visuals. I think we have visuals for behavioral transitions and we have visuals for learning, but using visuals to scaffold comprehension for children with autism is just vital. So one of the things that I use to support multiple meanings, because this is really a problem, is to teach them a joke of the day, and they all love it. And one of the things that I've learned over the years is children with autism often understand metaphor. This is like this if you teach it visually, or they can understand multiple meanings if you teach it visually. Even the difference between alternative spellings can really help them. If there's not an alternative spelling, if you can give them a visual picture to identify as that definition, that also helps them. There are many really wonderful visual dictionaries that go way beyond, the 100 words that children needs to learn or something like that. But there are quite extensive visual dictionaries that really capture many hard to capture definitions in visual form. So I use them quite a bit. So here's an example of the joke of the day. Why was Cinderella so bad at football? She kept running away from the ball. Okay, so every good child with autism will laugh, but they won't really know what that means. So we really unpack that. So we talk about a ball can be a dance, a ball can be something you play sports with, and then we talk about football players are supposed to hold on to the ball and run to make a touchdown. They don't run away from it. So it's using both meanings of the word ball to make a joke, and then we go back and look at the joke again. So I may even have them make their own little dictionary of words that are homonyms or words that have multiple meanings, things like that, so they can refer to them if they need to. The other difficult thing besides multiple meanings are figurative language. I'll never forget one of the first times I was working with children with autism, and I said, "Hey, buddy," and he goes, "My name is not Buddy." So it's those kinds of things that are very difficult, and again, we have to depend on visual learners. So I have a few for you here to have some fun. So do you have a guess what this one is? Yeah, fish out of water. Now, I want you to notice that there are a couple of good websites. This one is cartoonidiomsproverbs.com, and then I'll show you the other one as we go along. How about this one? Yeah, money to burn. Okay, this one is from a different website called www.idiomsbykids.com, and it's got a very extensive list of these kinds of pictures that I think are great. So, got a guess here? Yeah. This one's a little harder. I'll give you a little more time. The word horse should come to mind. Yeah. It's an easy one. I love this one. This is one of my favorites. Caught red-handed. And I like this one too. Name dropper, very good. On a roll. Now this one is for adults and not for children. It's out of the New Yorker. Think about it for a minute. That's a nut in the middle of the table. There it is in a nutshell. So we've been having fun, but you can use visual boards, visual signs, visual contrast to teach idioms really well. So that same little person that said, hey buddy, also had a very difficult time with this very one. Her mom kept saying, hold your horses, hold your horses. And she'd go, I don't have any horses. So we contrasted it. This is what the words mean. Look, hold your horses. Wouldn't that be silly, right? But the real meaning of hold your horses means stop. And so we contrast that. Sometimes I use Amelia Bedelia books, but Amelia Bedelia books are so rich in the idiomatic language that sometimes it's too much for kids with autism, so I may just use a page at a time to help them through. But using visuals and contrasts are really, really important for children to learn that words aren't always what they mean. Sometimes there are groups of words that can mean something different. So in conclusion, you can see I've just really touched the very edges of how complex language is and things you can do to support them. That's another whole course. Language is so very complex. It's really important that you collaborate with your SLP, that you collaborate with other people on the child's team and their mom and family to really make sure their vocabulary learning and their associations are really made genuine for them. Look for spontaneousness and context. What we do know is any type of training that we do with children with autism, if we are not connecting that training to the rest of their life, it becomes a dog and pony trick. You know, they can only do it if they get the right clues, with the right person, with the right materials. So anything that you do needs to be generalized across materials, people, and settings. I know I've said this before, but it's so very important.